Welcome to 10K Tuesday. Time to turn it up. Final leg. There's a finish line. Turn it up. Finish strong, baby. Hey, welcome to 10K Tuesday. What we do here is we will always run 10K and we're going to try to make 10K. We're not going to make 10K today. We're out in the wilderness. I don't have signal. I'm not fooling with day trading. And also, I'm moving. This could very well be the last 10K Tuesday in Southwest Virginia. I'm in a place called Reiner, just outside of Christiansburg. But we're moving to Virginia Beach, so totally new environment if I don't return here in the next couple weeks on a Tuesday to kind of put the final touches on my home, which we're renting out. Something profound happened to me on my first trip moving stuff to Virginia Beach. I moved stuff to Virginia Beach back in February and I documented that trip. But something really odd happened to me on that trip. I stopped drinking. Stopped totally. And prior to that, I'd reduced my alcohol intake by 80%, which is not nothing. I mean, if your bank account were to suddenly decrease by 80%, you would notice, right? And so anyway, I documented the trip. I'll share it with you. It was kind of embarrassing, but as far as an embarrassing moment that makes somebody give up drugs, alcohol, or what have you, it's rather benign. A lot of the things that tip the scales for people to give up those substances is waking up one day in jail, divorce, unable to have access to your kids. Those are the biggies. And what happened to me was just embarrassing. But hey, I'm going to put it out on the internet forever. So if my embarrassing experience helps one person, it's worth it. I'll take it. It's worth it. So with regards to this embarrassing experience that made me stop drinking alcohol, I don't know if I'll never have another drink again in my life, but I know I won't have one today. What would it take? I don't know. I know two people personally that have spent over 90 days in jail. Well, actually, I know, let's see, like 4. But let's say this. 2 people that spent over 90 days in jail, that cured the shit out of them. They no longer drink or are full with any substances. And those guys actually became ultra religious. I guess they took their addictive personalities and they decided to be addicted to Jesus. And their lives are pretty sweet. They're going quite well for them. And the other 2 guys spent over 90 days in jail and they still drink. I saw one guy like the day he got out and he was having beers and talking about growing pot plants. It's like drinking is what put him in there. And in fact, like here's a Facebook post of him talking about trying to get drinking licked and and he failed to do so. On that day that I saw him when he got out of jail, that very same day, he placed no responsibility on his actions that put him there. With being locked in a cell by himself for like 22 hours in a day, you would think that he had time enough to reflect and figure out that his actions played a role in landing him in jail. But when I saw him, that was not the case whatsoever. So I don't know what it takes for people to give up behaviors that are sabotaging them. But I can tell you what has helped me, and maybe it will help you. Because the point of what I do on this channel is, what I'm trying to do on this channel is, I believe I don't know what I'm talking about unless I can teach it. So it's selfishly for me, it's just another level of learning. And if what I have to say really helps somebody or entertains you, well, that's awesome. That's just terrific. So here are some things that have helped me change my behaviors, change my habits, reduce bad habits, increase good habits. That's really what it's about, in my opinion. If you focus on, I don't want to drink anymore, you're just thinking about this thing that's constantly gnawing at you. Instead, if you say, I want to create a better body, I want to get better at running, I want to run in the marathon in New York City. That's my goal, actually. Well, I don't have time to think about drinking and smoking and partying and shit. I think a lot of people make it harder. And I'm not going to say that it's not hard in the beginning. It can be. But it's like the two guys that went to jail and that are now addicted to church and God and Jesus and stuff like that. Just change, just recognize, for me, I have an addictive personality. Well, why don't I sink my teeth into something that's going to be really positive, really awesome, no downside, nothing but upside. Find a great hobby to be addicted to where there's no downside. And, maybe you produce a better body. And then, of course, with that, I've found my spirituality has increased. I didn't really intend for that to happen. But basically, once the vices became evaporated in my life, I think it cleared distortion between me and above. That's what has personally happened to me. And as I read more, that's the deal. That's what all these folks preach about and talk about. And I know very little about AA, but I know that there is a spiritual aspect to AA. So a couple tricks that have helped me is it sort of ended up being accidental neuro-linguistic programming for me. All right, so I think we can really give other people advice easily, but we can't really, it's hard for us to take our own advice. I call it training the brain. So if we link our brains up to something painful, it'll make us stop. For example, I detest the idea of bacon on my pizza. When I was a kid, I loaded up a bunch of bacon bits all over a pizza and I barfed. And so that's just, I just can't shake it. I just will not accept bacon on a pizza. It's absolutely gross to me. Okay? So, I also love Big Macs, right? That's my jam. I love Big Macs. But I'm not going to get the body I want by eating Big Macs all the time. So when I drive past a McDonald's, I instantly say, everybody wants some! I want some too! It's a Van Halen song, right? Well, where did that come from? Well, back in the day, David Lee Roth, like between 1982 1984, the dude was just completely shredded. He looked great. I was like, I want to look like David Lee Roth. I want to look like a David Lee Roth, Frank Zane hybrid. That's what I'm shooting for, right? But also, there was this movie called Better Off Dead starring John Cusack, and there's this scene where they had John Cusack's character. It was a claymation scene where they made a hamburger come to life and play Everybody Wants Some. I just linked that. The burger coming to life as like Eddie Van Halen, and the song Everybody Wants Some. But knowing if I eat Big Macs, I'm not gonna have a David Lee Roth body. So that helps me. That sincerely helps me. And then of course we got the bacon on the pizza. That keeps me away from that. If we can have an image of the person we want to be in our heads and do things that enhance that image and not do things that take away from that image. It's kind of like, think about Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons, where he's like, hey kids! And then next scene, like he's at a bar with a cigarette and a double bourbon, like he has completely stepped out of character. So for me, creating this David Lee Roth, Frank Zane character in my head, I don't want to do things that will take away from, that's what I want to look like. So getting all fucked up and overeating is not going to help me look like that. So I hope that is helping. But also for the dudes whose wives have left them, who have restricted access to their kids, who've done time. I don't understand, me personally, I'm not judging, but I don't personally understand why that is not a significant enough pain point to change behavior, like consuming drugs and alcohol in excess. I just don't understand that. Fella I saw yesterday, just yesterday, we're moving. I had this cherry table and it was poorly constructed, and I was walking out of my house with it and it freaking collapsed and fell on my head. And I was like, well, I can't give it away or sell it, so I'll take it to my friend who's a woodworker and just give him, all this awesome cherry material. It's Monday yesterday, June 10th, coincidentally my dad's birthday, if he would be alive today. Dude's drunk as a skunk. He's working, to his credit, in his front yard on a project, but he's drunk as a skunk listening to Christmas music. It's funny and right pitiful at the same time. And that fella, his wife had left him. He has very little access to his kid. And that was not enough to wake him up, sober him up. And he's very talented too. I sincerely believe that all of his talents, his woodworking talents, his skills, I think that they would be enhanced. I think that they would increase if he were to give up the booze and the pot. I think a lot of folks think that booze and pot helps them as artists, or maybe unrestricts them, or I don't know. I mean, I've certainly consumed enough booze and smoked enough pot while I was a kid playing guitar in college, but I would have been better without it. I know it. And I know he would too. But losing his wife and kid was not enough. In fact, I guess maybe he probably ran closer to it than away from it. But I can tell you this, for me, I've been lucky enough to have more than one woman be in love with me, and then to see the light go out in her eyes when she looks at me, man, I ain't never letting that shit happen again. At this point, I'm starting to ramble, but I hope I'm getting through to somebody out there. I hope I'm helping somebody out there. And by the 10K Tuesday for next week, we just might be shooting it from Virginia Beach. It makes sense. I'll be moving there. And by the way, unrelated, if you want or need to make money from home, within the notes on this very video, I have created a course. It's a playlist within this channel. You don't need to subscribe to anything. Just go down the notes below, click it, and I hope it helps you. It'll help you make money from home without doing anything complicated. So it's there for you, my gift to you. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button and consider subscribing to the channel, I drop lots of content out here. And it doesn't cost you a dime, it means the world to me. Enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Alright, we've got some stuff loaded. I'm not packed to the gills, but I've got a substantial load to take on the maiden voyage. Alright, let's hit the road.
Here we are, Scolari Move 2024, new and improved.
Maiden voyage to Virginia Beach, first trip.
Second trip, but anyway, it's not all about you, Scott. 11.
Don't tell our address.
Okay, and Virginia Beach. Woo! Love. Turn this puppy around.
All right, away we go, off to Virginia Beach. fresh pork rinds. They're fresh out too. He just made them for me. I think pork rinds are actually not that bad for you. So this is why Virginia Beach is not so hot sometimes. Freaking, I'm 26 miles out and it'll probably take me an hour to get in, at least. And we are crawling into the tunnel. There's basically only one way in and one way out of Virginia Beach, with the exception to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel that takes you to the Eastern Shore. So yeah, that's part of the deal. Can't have everything. Still pretty though. They're working on it. Water, lots of water. Oh, let's go. I'll be there at 5. Trashmore. All right. So that's what we're doing. Haven't paid rent in like 25 years. And here we are. Start slipping some stuff in and maybe I can get my toes in the sand before sundown. Oh, there's jets. We're in Virginia Beach. Can you hear the jets? Yeah, I gotta get used to that. This is probably gonna be my bedroom. Now, get stuff from here into here. So, I just blacked out in a restaurant. Pretty freaking crazy. But yeah, I just fainted or blacked out in the middle of a freaking restaurant. Yes, I had 2 martinis. When it happened was during dessert. I get incredible ice cream headaches. And I had this sundae, and next thing I know, my head's exploding and I wake up on the ground saying, what happened? And I've got a phone being pressed to me from the waitress, and it's a 911 operator, and I just immediately come to and say, I had an ice cream headache. I'm not sure what in the world happened. Of course, I had 2 martinis. Before that, would this have happened if I hadn't had 2 martinis? I don't fucking know. Probably not. Just so freaking embarrassing. Maybe I'm, there's this going on. I'm sure I should have had the second martini. I've had plenty of other occasions where I had a second and third martinis and didn't faint in a restaurant. So maybe this is a little heavier than I thought. Believe it or not, I don't drink that much. We don't keep booze in the house. But I fainted in a restaurant and all the patrons saw me. It's pretty embarrassing. Anyway, wish there was a punchline or a cherry to put on top of this, but just try to get some rest. All right, good morning. Let's see, got a little, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that's where I hit my head last night. Man. Anyway, so I got on the horn this morning, talked with my wife, fessed up, told her that I freaking fainted in a restaurant. And you know what is odd is, so the day after, this is 2 days after Valentine's Day, and so the day after Valentine's Day, I told her, I said, you know what, I'm thinking about hanging up drinking for good, because I was hungover after we went out for Valentine's dinner and had like a glass of wine and a martini, and I was like, man, I just feel like shit. I'm thinking about giving up the game. And then the next day, 24 hours later, I'm fainting in a freaking restaurant. So anyway, I believe the stress with all this and this transition, this move, and you know what? There's nothing but upside to giving up booze. So yeah, we're gonna do that. All right, and then this morning I woke up, made 440 bucks day trading, lost 20 there you see, and then made 460 on this big move right here. So that's part of the strategy with this thing. I'm getting better at day trading. It is a skill. It's not luck, and that is a way that I believe that I can sustain, my financial needs, our household financial needs, and so I'm just doing it day by day. I don't win every day, and so yeah, that's pretty good to start out your day. $440 ahead by 10 a.m. So now I'm going to go to the beach. Let's go get some coffee. 5 minutes away by bike ride to the beach. That's why we wanted to do this thing. Yes. Yes. It might be 50 degrees. Still gonna dip my toes in the water. I didn't come all this way not to. Yes, sir. We made it. I love a food truck. I talked myself into some breakfast. Oh my gosh, this could be the best biscuit I've ever had in my life. It's got brie, it's got bacon, it's got pepper jam, it's got spinach. Holy crap! I love this place. So first day at the new place, cranked out about $440 in day trading. Pretty cool. I've got this thing going on where I do sweepstakes, And so we produced $240 worth of sweepstakes entries, and I actually processed $327 worth of sweepstakes into my bank account. By the way, I did say that I'm in marketing and I have a course available. It's called LearnSweeps.com. So we multiply our money here. So my sweepstakes entries are not contest entries where we're hoping to win some mega miracle prize, and they're not clipping coupons either. Like, it is basically, this is delayed money right here, right? So each of these mail-ins right here, so there's what we did today. These mail-ins, so we converted 64 mail-ins into $267.50. We converted 14 mail-ins to $60.65. So we multiplied our money right there. That's pretty crazy. Each mail-in has a value of $1. $14 into $60.65. $64 into $267.50. Pretty awesome. Anyway, if you're interested, go to LearnSweeps.com and I'll show you what it's all about, because I truly want to help people prosper. All right, let's go ahead and clean this place up. And voila. So we've got everything unpacked and, you know, in order. It just makes you feel a hell of a lot better to have your stuff in some sort of order. All right, and so just sort of a mental checklist for me. So I've got the refrigerator unplugged. I've got the water heater shut off at the breaker. I've got the water shut off. And yeah, no sense in, you know, heating water or running a refrigerator for weeks or a month or so. I don't know when I'm going to come back exactly. So cool. And got a list of stuff that I'll definitely want to have next time. I didn't even bring bath towels. I didn't get a shower. Hey, it's time to hit the road and get back to Mrs. Turner. All right, well, I've got a long trip ahead of me, and hey, thanks for bearing with me. We'll see where this journey takes us. Until the next episode. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it and gained something from it. By the way, if you want or need to make money from home, I have a free online course that's ready to rock. All you gotta do is go into the notes below this very video you're watching and just click the thing. It's already there, it's ready to go. Don't even want your email. It's my gift to you. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, that would mean the world to me. It doesn't cost you a dime. I hope it works for you. We'll see you in the next video.